Today at Manchester Theatres, I am with the fabulous Peter Caulfield, who is going to be, as you can see from the merchandise, in the premiere musical to Wong Foo, which is coming to the Hope Mill Theatre from the 21st of October. And I have to say that again, the premiere. It is going to be amazing.
World premiere.
The world premiere. Now, Peter is... Sorry, go on.
Sounds better if you put world in front of it.
It does, doesn't it? The world premiere. You see, that right there is why you are no stranger to obviously stage and screen, having performed in so many things. Most recently, obviously, in the hit sensation Tammy Faye, but in the Russell T Davies shows, Cucumber, Banana. We've been in Doctor Who, where you're all blue, and EastEnders. Jesus Christ Superstar, Into the Woods, Obamaology, the list goes on and on. What a cracking CV. But we're not interested in that today. Today is all about To Wong Foo, the world premiere.
I'm a walking advert.
You are a walking advert. Show the back. Show the back of your t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can you see it there?
There we go. Look at that. We're going to come to Vida, Boheme in a minute. But first of all, Peter, tell us, for anybody who doesn't know, what the story is about. What's going on?
So it's basically about three drag queens who travel across America, and they're going from New York to LA to compete in a drag contest. And they get stuck basically in middle America in a very small town called Schneidersville. And you can imagine the inhabitants of Snydersville have never seen anything like these three drag queens. They are so full of life, so positive, so colourful, and they just sprinkle this sort of magic dust over this town, and they change them for good. And also, I think the drag queens really change as well, and realise that, you know, just because you're from a small town doesn't mean that you can't connect with people like us. You know, it's just like, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what your background is, we're all human at the end of the day, and everyone deserves to be respected wherever you're from. And I think that's the message of the show. And also, it's just a huge celebration of drag, 90s celebration, 90s music. There's some, you know, disco rave in there, there's like country music, there's opera, there's kind of like Sondheim-esque songs. It's literally everything is just packed into the show. And on top of that, the gowns, the wigs, the choreography is just going to tie it all together into this beautiful, huge explosion of fun.
I can't, honestly, it's just going to be, like you say, so much fun. And you've mentioned some of the music there, obviously written by Lewis Flynn, brand new music. So yeah, I was wondering what it was going to be. Was it going to like have that country kind of vibe, but the pop and the dance? And have you got any favorites, any standouts?
Do you know what, the score is so dense, and it's really a song through show. You know, they obviously they were speaking as well, yeah. But there's so much music. And I mean, I love the fact that, you know, often in musicals you can get, I don't know, sometimes when you see a jukebox musical, you get these sort of songs that are thrown into the show, and they're kind of like scrabbling around on how to try and fit them in. Whereas this show, the music has been written for this story. So everything makes sense, the way they've constructed these different songs, and they're all brilliant. I think they're all great, and everyone deserves to be in the show. Yeah, so I think people will come away with, you know, different favorites depending on what their favorite kind of style is, or, you know, who their favorite character is. And yeah, so the music's really cool.
Talking of characters, you are of course Vida Boheme. So she goes through it, doesn't she? And she faces some tricky decisions along the way. Tell us about her.
So Vida, I mean, I just sort of view her as sort of this fairy godmother of drag. Yeah, she's really like the mother of all drag, and she's just come to this small town to kind of spread some of her love. But I think in doing that, she's one of those people who's, because she's giving all the time, she doesn't really expect anything back. So then when she actually receives love, I think it's just kind of throws her completely, and it knocks her for six. And I think that's what really moves me about the character, is that she's one of those people that really gives, and she's not expecting it. And when it happens, I think she just is really moved. But she's quite a strong, she doesn't often cry. You know, you hardly ever see her cry. She's very sort of formidable, and she's almost like a Mary Poppins drag. You know, she has this handbag with all these things that come out. She's like got an answer for everything. You know, and she's just such a fun, vibrant character. I mean, it really drew me to the piece when I was reading Vida. I was like, I really, really wanted to do it. And I hadn't been in Manchester. Like you were saying earlier, I did Cucumber with Russell T Davies, and that was the last time really that I'd worked in Manchester. And I had such a great time, but obviously I was only there for a few weeks back and forth from London. Whereas when I come up to do Wong Foo, I'm going to stay in Manchester the whole time, really embrace the city, embrace the show, and just invite people to come and see it. Like you can see, I'm a walking advert for the show. So I'm
absolutely
walking around the town like this, you know, I'm afraid.
Come and watch.
Yeah, although I mean, I've heard the first previews already sold out, so hopefully, you know, we'll get the audiences in. That would be great if we did.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you will, for lots of reasons. A, it's a cult classic. B, people love, obviously it's a premiere. I don't think we've said that yet, but it's a world premiere. Yeah. And people love Hope Mill. It's such a welcoming, it feels like the right place. It's such a welcoming place. Couldn't think of a better theatre. It's the perfect place for this show to be like born into. And like you said, the audiences are so warm, and it's so, you know, inclusive, and you know that's what the show is about. So it's kind of like a marriage made in heaven, isn't it? The show in Hope Mill. Yeah, I think so. And then obviously we've got Hope Mill's artistic director, who is associate director on To Wong Foo. We've got good old Joe in there. So what's it been like working at the Hope Mill and with Joe?
Joe's brilliant. He's just such a positive force and positive energy. But he's really just been letting it happen. You know, he's been letting, because it's Doug Carter Beane's baby. He wrote it. He wrote the film. So our director has adapted the film for the stage, and he's the one who wrote the film and came up with the idea. So it really is his baby, and he's so knowledgeable about the 90s and that the drag world back then. And you know, obviously we're so saturated with drag queens now, with Drag Race and all this sort of modern drag, which is incredible, but this really is very niche 90s drag, and it's a very particular type of drag. So we almost had to kind of unlearn our perception of what drag is and what drag means, and sort of go back to the birth of drag and what it was actually about. And you know, it really was about you know, Doug was telling us about these drag clubs, and they were up against it because they were performing in New York, and a lot of these places had bans on dancing. You know, they weren't allowed to dance unless it was like two people, and there were big posters on the wall that was, you know, saying no dancing. So they really were breaking the law doing this stuff, and it was really, really, really kind of scary in a way, because police could come and raid at any time. And that kind of like sense of fear is just, it's kind of there all, you know. And that's when we come into this little town in Schneidersville, it's like, you know, our biggest fear is that we've ended up in this place and we're going to get, you know, God knows what's going to happen to us. And that comes from that world, you know. But at the same time, drag brought so many different communities together, and it really was. And this story is also a real celebration of women and what it is to be a woman, and actually how much strength there is in femininity. And I think we forget that about drag. It's just like, you know, there's no reason why feminism and drag can't come together. And I know there's a lot of stuff in the press at the moment where there's all these polarized views that are sort of pushing groups apart. And I think this show, if it does nothing else, it's going to just try and bring all these different opinions and groups together and just say, look, it doesn't matter who you are, what your beliefs are, we all just deserve to be respected. I know I already said that, but it's just like, that really is the message of the show.
Yeah. And I think
that's a very long-winded answer.
No, but I think it's a really good point, because you've kind of said so much there, and I was going to say, but you kind of said it anyway, but it's obviously, like you say, the film was 1995, and since then drag has become a lot more mainstream with RuPaul and Drag Race and all of those things.
Who was in the film? Who was in the original film, RuPaul?
Yes, so I believe. Yes, yeah, it was, yeah. But obviously that is like this big, larger than life drag. And then, but then what you were saying about femininity, because obviously the three girls in the show, they're not like that all the time. The costumes aren't all.
Yeah, it's more about poise and glamour.
Yeah.
This kind of style of drag. And then obviously Chi-Chi, who's the newbie, is a little bit rough around the edges. And so it's like almost like Vida's project to kind of teach her, some grace. Still, you can still feel sexy and still have that edge to you, but it's just like having a bit of poise and glamour and grace. And it's like Vida is very much that kind of 1950s glamour inspired, and the dresses, oh my god, wait till you see, they're all like all design vintage Dior design.
Wow.
Remade, so stunning. I feel so glamorous, it's gonna look beautiful.
So I need to dress up when I come and watch then, otherwise I'm going to feel like the poor relative.
I think so. I mean,
yeah,
if people did dress up and get a bit glam.
Yeah, we need that back in the theatre, don't we? We need that back. We do.
But at the same time, if you just want to come and you jog as a teacher, then
of course. Yeah, well, like I say, it's just a celebration. It's there to obviously have a message across, but also to have fun and be inclusive, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And well, yeah. So what is it? Obviously it's such a big cult classic, and everyone has their favorite kind of character or their favorite moment in the film. There's now the musical version of it, as you've said, written by Douglas Carter Beane, the Tony Award winning Douglas Carter Beane. And what is it about this that you're kind of like, I can't wait till people see this bit, or I can't wait till people see this? What is there anything you're allowed to tell us?
Oh, I mean, the opening is amazing. The big opening, when all the queens do the walk. And it's a big, massive number, big production number, and it's the first time you see all the queens in all their different looks and dresses, and that is going to like catch the audience. In fact, we just recorded a number for Theatre Cafe just now, and it was Red and Wild number. Which is like a big kind of like hoedown, red and wild. Everyone's getting, it's like the two worlds of this drag world and the country, this Snydersville town all come together. And it's kind of like this fusion of the two communities. And I think it's fab. In fact, Gregory Haney, who plays Noxeema, that's his big number, and it's fab.
And has there ever been any kind of discussions in the back of your mind? Obviously there was 3 big people played it in the film, unexpected people as well who played these parts in the film. So has there kind of been that kind of, do you know what, we want to honor that, but this is our baby now, that kind?
I think obviously they want, Patrick Swayze in the movie. I mean, they cast 2 straight men in roles. That was the way Hollywood was, and at the end of the day, we're bringing the first real drag movie story to the mainstream, in Hollywood. So it was kind of groundbreaking. But obviously, I know Joe, from the Hope Mill, was keen to cast 3 queer actors in these roles, and I think that's important. I've not done drag per se, but I've played queer roles, and I used to dress up a lot as a little boy. My neighbours dress up as a princess, and my neighbours dress in a box, and walk around in heels, and like most young gay boys. I mean, I can't say every young gay boy did that,
but
I don't want to brush everyone with the same brush, but it's just like it's a different sensibility you have as a young queer man growing up, and feeling like an outsider, and trying to adhere to the kind of straight rhetoric and straight rules, and realizing there are other ways of thinking and doing things. And I think that's important to bring into these roles. So I think it's going to have a real authenticity, the show. We're actually wearing my heels now.
Oh, are you? I love it. Wow.
Only because it's like I've had to really break my feet in and my legs. And these aren't even the tallest ones in the show. There's one of the cast members in 9-inch heels.
How?
And she's already 6 foot too. So.
Oh my goodness. I'm this is my response, like Yeah.
And dancing in these as well.
Oh, how? I mean, that was
just practice, rush practice. I've just been building it up every day. So, I'm starting with 20 minutes and then 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then wearing them for the whole, for the whole morning session, and then obviously for the whole run. And now I feel kind of at home in them. It was weird when I take them off.
That's dedication, that. But I suppose it's muscle memory as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just getting your muscles used to it, and your tendons, your ankles. I mean,
Wow. Well, that was the little piece de resistance at the end of a fabulous chat. So thank you so much, Peter. As we've said, the world premiere to Wong Foo the Musical is coming to the Hope Mill Theatre from the 21st of October. You would be absolutely insane to miss it. That is all I can say. We will all be there and we cannot wait. So thank you very much for your time. I know you're going straight back to rehearsals, aren't you?
Straight back in, that's very kind of you, and thank you. It was really nice chatting.
You too. Thank you, and all the best.